Hello, my treasures. It's time for Replication-ination to take over standard Hearthstone. We are going to be playing a Replication-inator deck in Warlock, where the idea basically is going to be is we're going to either copy our Malefic Rook with the base copy of this card, or copy our 8/8 Giants through both Playhouse Giant and Molten Giant over to swarm the board with a bunch of minions that will be very hard for our opponent to stop. I will also mention that while the replays in this video are going to be covering this variation of it, I did prep a Reno variant that I'll leave in the description below. Also, just because I think this will probably be the more consistent win rate version of the deck, but less consistent on the combo. Now for the Mulligan guide, draw power cards are great, such as fracking. Outside of this, you're going to be looking for early game removal tools, such as Spirit Bomb or Crescendo. Honestly speaking, any of the Fatigue Warlock support is really great to keep. And finally, things like Malefic Rook is great also. Now, with that all being said, let's get some games. Okay, time for a game against Priest. There are actually quite a few different Priest decks floating around right now that I know of. And the weird thing is, oh, I guess it isn't really that weird, but it's a little bit harder to mulligan for each individual Priest list because I know... Oh, honestly, this hand doesn't look too terrible. Okay, maybe that's a little bit worse. Actually, no, it isn't. We would love to have something like the Imp Master or whatever it's called. I can't remember its name now. The 4-drop that summons imps for every 50 damage that you take. Let's just slam this down to slam it down. There's the Forge. One more mana, we could have actually slammed down the other, or we could have got an additional copy of Rook here. Let's just do the face damage, and then we can slam down another one. This doesn't get rid of both of... Yeah, let's go for Imp. We do have Popcar, so I do want to get that ramping up pretty quickly here. Why does that do 5 damage? Out of all the... You know... That's the thing that bugs me about that card. It costs 4, it has 4 attack, 4 HP. You would expect it to do 4 damage, but for some dumb reason it does 5. Okay, I kind of want to go for Yogg. Yogg in the long term is the best bet there. Ziliax would have been probably fine too, but like Yogg does allow us to clear out the board, so... Good news is that didn't have poisonous on it. Bad news. Well, actually, you know what? Our hand doesn't look that bad now. This is going to be a, like, I don't know if it's going to be a super bad play, but fingers crossed they don't have 6 additional damage. Or 2 additional damage, I guess, because they could... Oh, no. Because we saw the weapon. Priest is a matchup where I'm not afraid of getting this low on HP. There are a few matchups where getting this low is just basically game over, man. But like this is definitely one that isn't like that. There were a few of the games that I played so far where my opponent ended up top decking or having exactly what they needed, and it was so close for like a perfect replay. There's actually a replay or a game that will never see the spot or the daylight, mainly because of the fact that I hit the wrong scene in OBS when I was recording it. It makes me really sad because it was a really good game. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes stuff like that happens, and there's not much I can do about it. Oh, right. Well, not perfect this turn, but next turn it'll be perfect. Let's see what we can grab here. Anything good? Let's grab the taunt that protects our minions for a turn, and then all we really have to do here is survive. I mean, we have 15 HP. They'll probably slam into the 6/6. Oh! Do we actually want to start playing around that card, or do we just want to play normally? Out of all the cards that they rotate back in, that's a random legendary that didn't make any sense. Madam is one of those cards that has actually seen quite a bit of play, at least in Reno decks. I'm assuming at this point this is a Reno Priest list, which isn't the worst news for us. But like, it's amazing a card so simple can do so much, right? Maybe I'm just like easily impressed because think about it. Like, Katarina has been in rotation for like 2 years now, and she has done nothing the entire time she's been in. Which, don't get me wrong, is kind of annoying because I've been trying to use her because I really want to use her on a thumbnail. I won't lie about that. The original Res Priest list that I had, it was a Res Priest list where we were trying to do something with undeads, or one of the original iterations. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. We ended up finding a decent way to make Res Priest work. It isn't the best list, but like it's probably the best that you're going to get with Res Priest in 2024 until they like print new cards. I do know though, Blizzard did just post something on Twitter where, oh, that's actually nice. Oh, what oh, yes! Say goodbye to Reno. Perfect. Oh, those hits are so nice. Anyways, they were like, which one of these Nax Rammus cards would you like back? And it was what, KT, Lotheb, and then I don't remember, Undertaker and something else. I don't remember what the fourth card was. But out of those four, like, KT would be a perfect card to synergize with Katarina. Like, 90% of the time, you're not going to need both of them. Don't get me wrong, but you could do something more interesting than previous. At least in my opinion. I don't know what you'd exactly do, but you could. Lotheb also would. Lotheb with Shadow Step in rotation might be a little bit problematic, but outside of that, I don't know. It's one of the things that you think about, and you're like, maybe that wouldn't be a problem. Oh, game. Don't. It's basically like we weren't casting anything. If we were like Rogue, that might actually work. That would have actually been funny if we were actually Rogue. Also worth mentioning, I've been trying so many things to get to Legend this month, and I have yet to find something that made me go from I've gotten so close to it quite a few times, it's just, I don't know. There's some disconnect with the current meta. Like, I don't think anything stands out, but like, I just haven't had a really fun time with anything right now. I think it's just outside of my weird, wacky decks that I come up with, I'm just kind of bored of standard right now. All right, so we know for a fact they don't have Reno. I think they used Light Bomb earlier, so we don't have to worry about that. The only thing we really have to worry about for combo-wise is repackaging, but then we can actually do, like, if we draw into it quickly enough, we can redo the combo, which, okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You got to get rid of it, the weapon, kind of, not really. Trying to think of like what would be bad here for them to get. Okay, they only have 2 spells left in their deck, and they have 6 cards left. Love Everlasting, perfect. Oh, Fizzle. That kind of changes everything. Get rid of the board, slam down Fizzle, and then put down, oh, the Conductor. That's what it's called. I couldn't earlier for the life of me think of what this card was actually called. I knew it summoned imps, and that's all that really matters, right? Okay, Dirty Rat drags out at 8/8. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Oh, they had the Light Bomb still. Okay, well, good news. We, good old Popgar. They're going to pop off on our board, get us down to, well, actually, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to do it here because I don't know for sure how it would work. But I am kind of curious how the imp would work in combination with, because it's, oh, I guess it would be 6 damage that we would need. I'd be curious if it actually copies because we do get the additional stat. But hopefully they don't have anything to clear out this board, please. Come on. Oh. Huh. Oh, of course they have to clear. Come on. Fizzle, please. Photograph. I want a photograph finish here. Okay, well, I mean, it is a photograph finish because, you know, Behold my board of gigantic minions. Don't have anything else, right? That's the hope and the dream. Come on, just nothing else. No more, please. No more, no more, no more. Okay, Almond Tool gets rid of 2. Don't think that's enough. 2. Okay, wait. If they get rid of 2, we still have. Well, technically they'd get rid of 3, but I get. Okay. I mean, I think that was a gigantic mistake, but I don't think they could come back from this. Because what? They'd have to. Yeah. It's a GG. Let's go. As long as Yogg. Hey, love everlasting. I love you, Yogg. Okay, time for a game against Paladin. Let's see what they got for us. Honestly, maybe not against Paladin, but this actually isn't the worst hand in the world. We are doing a lot of face damage to ourselves. There are reasons why I've been like considering maybe like trying out Arena variant instead. They're passing it back to us. I'm gonna put down the imp. It's one of those things where getting the 3 damage in is probably going to be worth it in the long run against Paladin. Also depends on what type of Paladin list this is. I know there's like 4 different Paladin lists floating around, but honestly speaking, they all basically play the exact same. They have different AoEs, and that's about it, to be honest. Like, I know Handbuff tends to run Keeper's Strength, Flood tends to run Prismatic Beam, and Reno runs both. I'm going to go for Conductor here. At least in my experience, that tends to be the breakdown when it comes to Paladin lists, especially when you're facing against them. Okay, so this... Actually, I guess that doesn't tell me if it's Flood or Handbuff. Both lists run that. It could also be Reno, I guess, still. I'd be actually kind of amazed if it is Reno. Reno actually is probably our best matchup out of the 3 Paladin lists. I'm like, yeah, this could be any... This definitely could still be any of the Paladin lists that exist. Okay, there's Yogg, there's Infernal. I do find it funny that they named it Infernal and not just Infernal, right? I will never not think that as funny. I kind of want to use this here. I know we don't... I mean, having Pop Guard, the Gigantic, both of which are actually pretty decent. Still, no real idea of what our opponent is playing. Okay, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Hopefully they don't have Leroy Jenkins, but knowing my luck, they probably will. We actually probably should have hit one of the ones that did not have 1 HP into those minions, but it is what it is. Mistakes will be made. I'm not ever saying I'm the best. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is... Well, actually, it's either Flood or... Okay, it's Handbuff. I like how Audio Medic is the card that makes me go like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely one of the other. All right, let's do Pop Guard. Get 3. We're gonna pop these 2 minions, then pop the last 2. Back up to 20, slam down the 1/1. Not because we need the 1/1 on the board. Honestly speaking, we don't at all. But, you know, it gets a card out of our hand. You could also use it as a way to have drawn another card because of Gaslight, but maybe in hindsight that would have been the better play. Oh, Zilliax. Let's just go face. If we had 1 more mana, we could... Oh, no, we don't have it in hand. Never mind. 9 next turn? Yogg actually isn't bad. There's a few answers to this board state, kind of, but they don't know what we have in hand, so... Hey! Amidas is not going to meet their win condition. Perfect. Get the minion. Don't have any more mana. We steal Amidas next turn. Hopefully Yogg does not betray me. And then we just win the game. Easy peasy, am I right? All right, say goodbye to Amidas. She's not going to be keeping the peace much longer. Probably should have actually swapped those attacks order, but GG. Okay, time for a game against Warrior. This is actually one of the worst matchups that we could actually have. Just because, you know, Warrior is a class that has a lot of AoE removal tools, though we can get pretty lucky with good old Sympathy of Sins if we really feel like it. This opener doesn't look that bad. I will also say this. This is a deck that I went through a lot of different iterations of like ratios and such. So some of these replays might not be the most finished version. I don't know. It's a deck that I was finicking around with a lot. Okay, let's just slam down the Imp. Take 1 damage. Have a 3/3. Oh, okay. Audio amplifier is something that I've been wanting to redo. There are some combos where having that can work. I will say this, one of the other Replicator-inator decks that I was trying out was a DK list where we were using that as a way to get to 11 mana, but that deck didn't actually work as well as I wanted because I can't read cards, I guess, because, you know, Replicator-inator only summons a copy if you play the card, not summon the card. So it is what it is. Also, it is worth mentioning, though, the normal version of the card will duplicate the rooks here, which is actually pretty good. It is one of those things that you're probably not going to be using most of the time, but it could be a way to, you know, make your opponent decide, hey, I need to get rid of this big board, and then you can slam down on the next turn a big ol' gigantic combo of all the cards they could have randomly just. So Crescendo does do 2 damage. There isn't going to be a nice way to do this, is there? There is. There is one way we could do this, but I don't think it's something that we should do. Let's just do this. I don't want to waste the crescendos. We were gonna. Oh, there's Popgar, Yogg. You know, not worse. We could have done a lot worse there overall, but you know, it is one of those things, though. I will say. Okay, there's armor, there are cards. I'm assuming at this point, because of the cards that they played, it probably is a Reno variant, which is going to be really annoying for us to deal with. Oh, well, that's tempting depending on what we can actually top deck. I'm going to trade. Do we want to fizzle here? I think I'm just going to Hero Power. We also probably will end up cutting one of the Infernals because we don't need 2 of them in the list, to be honest. I don't know. There's some like early game cards, quote unquote early game cards that we could probably swap around. I know Go Down's gift could probably be swapped around with another copy of Harp, just as a way to have additional heal. We're only running 1 Molten Giant. Oh, actually, this hand is perfect. But yeah, we're only. I will say this. I actually think we're only running 1 Molten Giant. If we aren't, then I mean to change out the Molten Giant for a Yogg next game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, is they don't have Bash in combination with the 4-cost weapon. Come on, just... Oh, thank you. All right, we have Yogg in hand. What am I saying? Ignore what I was saying last turn. That was dumb. Also, we should have done that first. Not gonna lie. Oh, wait. Never mind. We didn't put down Infernal. Okay, let's use Crescendo. Crescendo heals up a little bit. Go face. Then probably slam down barrel. Do you want to use... Yeah, we might as well use mass production. Oh, there's Fizzle. That's perfect, actually. We're going to empty out the hand a little bit more. And hopefully they don't have anything to do with this board. It isn't the gigantic combo that I wanted to show off, but it is a pretty decent combo. I will say that. Come on, Hepto response, please. Okay, that's a response we can easily deal with. Good old Yogg. Actually, honestly speaking, that version of Ziliax is the entire reason why I'm running Yogg. Like, as much... Okay. Now that we're through the game, so let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So the deck had a 45% win rate across the 30 games that I played with the deck, which was actually kind of higher than I originally expected, though I do think a lot of the losses that I had were because I misplayed it. This deck is actually incredibly hard to actually pilot, which is probably one of the reasons why I wouldn't easily recommend trying this deck out. However, if you've been looking for a deck to use Replicator-inator, this is probably going to be one of the better decks you can try out. But like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, until next time. Bye-bye.